It appeared without warning, a flicker in the data streams, a blip on tracking systems that monitor the infinite dark for threats we hope never arrive. At first, it was just another anomaly, another piece of cosmic debris wandering through the void. But within hours, as telescopes across the globe locked onto its position, as computers ran trajectory simulations and spectral analyses, a pattern emerged. This wasn't debris. This wasn't random. This was something moving with purpose, something that had crossed the unimaginable distances between stars. And now, as it glides through our solar system, as the James Webb Space Telescope captures data that's being locked away in classified vaults, one thing has become undeniable. 3I/Atlas has sent a transmission, not the kind we expected, not radio waves or laser pulses, but something embedded in its motion, its emissions, its very presence. A message encoded in physics itself. And what that message says, what it warns us about, might be the most terrifying revelation humanity has ever faced. The object designated 3I/Atlas first appeared in late June on the automated detection systems of the Atlas Survey Network, a high-speed scanning platform designed to catch asteroids and comets before they become threats. But what Atlas caught wasn't a threat in the traditional sense. It was something else entirely. The velocity was wrong. Over 150,000 miles per hour. Far faster than anything gravitationally bound to our solar system should be moving. And when astronomers traced its path backward through simulations, trying to find its origin, the trajectory didn't point to the Oort cloud, or the Kuiper belt, or any known reservoir of comets. It pointed out, away, toward interstellar space, toward the core of our galaxy. This object had been traveling for thousands of years, tens of thousands, moving through the absolute cold and silence of the space between stars. And now it was here, in our neighborhood, passing through our system with a precision that defied probability. Before 2017, we had never detected a single interstellar visitor. The sky was empty. The universe seemed content to leave us alone in our corner of the galaxy. Then Oumuamua arrived. Strange, elongated, accelerating in ways that violated our models. We told ourselves it was natural. Unusual, yes, but explainable. Then came Borisov, a comet, clearly, but moving faster than it should. Releasing gases in patterns that didn't quite fit. We dismissed the anomalies, chalked them up to the strangeness of objects from alien star systems. But now 3I/Atlas has arrived, and it's different. Brighter than it should be, moving in ways that suggest control rather than drift, and suddenly the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. 3 objects, 3 arrivals, each stranger than the last, each appearing just as our technology advances to the point where we can study them properly. Coincidence or something else, something deliberate, something that's been watching our progress and waiting for us to reach a threshold. When the James Webb Space Telescope turned its infrared eyes toward 3I/Atlas, the scientists analyzing the data expected answers. Composition, structure, the chemical fingerprints that would tell us what this thing is made of and where it came from. What they got instead were more questions, because the object's brightness didn't match its size. It was reflecting far too much light for a rock or ice ball of its dimensions. The surface was behaving like metal, polished, highly reflective, and the thermal signature was all wrong. Not the chaotic heat distribution you'd expect from a tumbling chunk of frozen material warmed by the sun. This was stable, patterned, controlled, as if something inside was generating heat, managing it, distributing it according to a design. The spectral analysis shattered expectations. They were looking for water ice, carbon compounds, the usual suspects in cometary bodies. Instead, they found absorption lines that suggested advanced carbon structures, materials more commonly associated with engineering than geology. And there were hints of symmetry in the way the object rotated, one side consistently hotter than the other. Not because of uneven solar heating, but because of internal processes, as if sections of the object were active while others remained dormant. And the electromagnetic readings suggested complexity, layered density, possibly cavities, internal architecture that no natural object should possess. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, who'd already gone on record suggesting Oumuamua might be artificial, saw the data and didn't hesitate. He called for detailed analysis of non-gravitational acceleration, because if 3I/Atlas was adjusting its trajectory, even slightly, without visible propulsion, then it wasn't drifting, it was navigating. And if it's navigating, then we're not looking at a rock, we're looking at a probe, a messenger, a construct sent by something with the capability to engineer objects that can survive millennia in deep space and arrive exactly where and when intended. The trajectory itself raised alarms. Natural objects don't enter solar systems along the orbital plane of the planets. The odds of such perfect alignment are astronomically low. Yet 3I/Atlas came in flat, level, as if it had been aimed, as if someone plotted a course that would bring it within observation range of Earth, Mars, and Jupiter, maximizing visibility, maximizing the chance that we'd notice, that we'd study it, that we'd point our most advanced instruments at it and try to understand, almost as if the object wanted to be seen, as if being observed was part of its purpose. Then the acceleration began, subtle at first, tiny deviations from predicted paths, the kind of adjustments that could be dismissed as measurement error or gravitational perturbations. But Webb's instruments are precise, and what they detected wasn't error, it was change. Deliberate, calculated course corrections executed without any visible means of propulsion. No exhaust plumes, no particle emissions, no waste heat consistent with rocket thrust. Yet the object's velocity was changing, its direction shifting, as if it possessed technology so advanced that it could manipulate momentum without conventional reaction mass. Technologies we've theorized about but never built. Technologies that would require an understanding of physics far beyond our current grasp. The thermal signature added another layer of impossibility. Webb's infrared sensors picked up emissions that didn't correlate with solar heating. These were internal heat sources, steady, consistent, patterned in ways that suggested machinery, power generation. Systems still operational after thousands of years of flight through the frozen void. And the distribution of these hotspots hinted at modularity, distinct sections, functional zones, as if the interior of 3I/Atlas was divided into chambers, each serving a specific purpose, each part of a larger system still running, still active, still very much alive. But perhaps the most disturbing discovery came from the electromagnetic analysis, fluctuations, pulses, variations in the fields surrounding the object that couldn't be explained by natural processes. At first, analysts thought it might be interference from Earth-based sources, radio noise, satellite emissions, but the patterns persisted even when 3I/Atlas was positioned where terrestrial signals shouldn't reach. And when they isolated the frequencies, when they analyzed the structure of the electromagnetic variations, they found something that sent chills through every researcher who saw it. The fluctuations were modulated, structured, following mathematical sequences that suggested encoding, information transmission, a signal. The signal wasn't random, it pulsed at intervals matching prime numbers, universal mathematical constants, the kind of patterns that scientists have proposed for decades as a way to communicate with alien intelligence. A language built from the fundamental structure of mathematics itself, comprehensible to any civilization advanced enough to detect it, and embedded within these pulses were gaps, pauses, periods of silence that seemed intentional, as if the signal was waiting, listening, expecting a response. As if 3I/Atlas wasn't just broadcasting, it was attempting contact. And every time it passed within range of Earth, every time our telescopes focused on it, the signal strengthened, as if responding to our attention, as if aware it was being watched. NASA's response was swift and severe. Data streams went dark, observational schedules were classified, requests for telescope time on Webb to study 3I/Atlas were denied without explanation. Freedom of Information Act requests came back redacted. Researchers who'd been working on the object were reassigned. Access to raw data was restricted to personnel with security clearances. The public story shifted from scientific curiosity to routine observation of an unremarkable interstellar object. But behind closed doors, the panic was spreading. Because what Webb had found, what the classified analyses revealed, wasn't just strange, it was paradigm-shattering. And once information reaches that threshold, once it threatens the foundations of everything we believe about our place in the universe, it stops being science. It becomes security, it becomes control, and control means silence. Military satellites were repositioned, defense networks activated. The X-37B, a classified spaceplane whose missions are never publicly disclosed, launched on an unscheduled flight with a trajectory that suggested surveillance of 3 I/Atlas's projected path. And in briefing rooms shielded from electronic surveillance, conversations began about response protocols, contingencies, options that no one wanted to discuss but everyone knew were being prepared. Because if 3 I/Atlas is artificial, if it's a probe from a civilization capable of interstellar travel, then its presence in our solar system isn't a scientific curiosity, it's a potential threat or a potential opportunity. Either way, it demands preparation, and preparation requires secrecy until someone decides what the public needs to know. The timing of 3 I/Atlas's arrival sparked theories that grew darker with each passing day. It appeared just as our artificial intelligence reached new heights of capability. Just as quantum computing moved from theory to application. Just as our telescopes became powerful enough to study interstellar objects in detail. Almost as if something had been watching our technological progress, monitoring our development, and decided that now, at this precise moment in our history, was the time to make itself known. Not through obvious contact, not through radio messages or flashing lights, but through presence. Through an object so anomalous, so impossible to ignore, that it would force us to confront the question we've been avoiding for generations. Are we alone? Some researchers began suggesting something even more disturbing. What if 3 I/Atlas wasn't meant to be found by accident? What if its arrival, its trajectory, its timing were all calculated? Variables in an experiment. A test to see how we'd react, how we'd respond. Whether we'd recognize what we were seeing, whether we'd understand the message encoded in its motion and emissions. A cosmic litmus test. And our reaction, our fear, our attempts at secrecy and control, all of it was being observed, recorded, analyzed by whatever intelligence sent this probe across the void. We thought we were the observers, but maybe we were always the observed. The subjects of a study that's been running for longer than we can imagine. The signal embedded in 3 I/Atlas's electromagnetic emissions contained something that terrified the few who were cleared to see the full analysis. Patterns that resembled biological encoding. Not human DNA, but similar structures. Helix formations, base pair ratios. The kind of information architecture you'd use to transmit genetic blueprints across interstellar distances. As if the object wasn't just a probe. As if it was carrying life, or the instructions to create life. A seed ship, a vessel designed to spread biological information from system to system. And if that's true, then 3 I/Atlas's mission might not be observation. It might be transformation, alteration, the delivery of genetic material to worlds deemed suitable, worlds like Earth. Buried in classified memos that leaked through back channels, one phrase kept appearing. Countdown detected. Analysts had found temporal markers in the signal. Cycles measured not in human time, but in orbital mechanics, planetary alignments, and according to the pattern, something was scheduled, an event, a transition, happening in approximately 9 months, tied to specific positions of Earth, Mars, and the Sun, a configuration that occurs rarely. And when that alignment happens, when the countdown reaches 0, the signal suggests 3 I/Atlas will do something. Transform, transmit, deploy. The data wasn't clear on what, but it was unambiguous that something had been planned. That 3I/Atlas's journey through our solar system was never random. It was a mission, with stages, with objectives, and we're rapidly approaching the final phase. Then came the discovery that made even the skeptics fall silent: the shadow. Webb's infrared imaging showed something trailing 3I/Atlas, not debris, not a tail of sublimating gases, but a void, a darkness that moved with the object, following at a precise distance, unaffected by solar radiation or gravitational forces, as if it wasn't a shadow cast by light, but something else, a distortion in space itself, a field, or perhaps another object, invisible to our sensors but detectable through the absence it creates, the hole it leaves in the background radiation. And if there's something following 3I/Atlas, if this visible object is just the messenger and the shadow is the actual payload, then everything we've been studying, everything we've been afraid of, might be a distraction. The real threat, or the real contact, might be hidden in that darkness, in the thing we can't see but know is there because of what it blocks. The final transmission, the warning that gives this object its terrifying significance, came from an unexpected source. Not from 3I/Atlas itself, but from old data, from Voyager 1. When researchers went back through decades of archived telemetry from the probe that's traveled farther than any human-made object, they found something that had been dismissed as static back in the 1990s, a brief electromagnetic anomaly, a pulse that matched no known source. But when reanalyzed with modern tools, with the context of 3I/Atlas's signal, the pattern aligned perfectly. The same mathematical structure, the same encoded information, which means 3I/Atlas's signal isn't new. It's been here before, in our solar system, detected by our instruments decades ago. We just didn't recognize it, didn't understand what we were seeing. And that realization carries a chilling implication. 3I/Atlas isn't the first, and it won't be the last. This is part of a sequence, a program, and we've just become aware enough to finally see the pattern. So now we face the truth that 3I/Atlas's presence forces us to acknowledge. We are not alone. We have never been alone. And the silence of space, the apparent emptiness, was never silence at all. It was waiting. Observation, something out there, something with technology beyond our comprehension, has been sending probes through our system for years, decades, maybe longer, watching us, studying us. And now, as we finally develop the tools to detect them, as we finally reach the threshold of awareness, they've sent something that can't be ignored, can't be dismissed. A message so clear, so undeniable, that it forces us to confront what we've always feared. We are the newcomers, the primitives, and whatever's been watching has decided it's time we knew. The countdown is running, the alignment is approaching, and when it arrives, when 3I/Atlas completes its mission, we'll discover whether this was a warning, an invitation, or something far worse. The final transmission isn't coming, it's already been sent. We just haven't decoded the last part yet. The part that tells us what happens next.